This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, Bruce. How's it going?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Life is good. Life is crazy. There's always something new and interesting coming up. This week, last week, the last few weeks have been no exception. That is for sure.
Yes, it's going to be a great week, though. We're what is the? Oh my God, I can't even think of what they're installing a new president tomorrow.
It's inauguration.
Inauguration. Week. That word. All of a sudden,
yes.
I lost it. So
yeah, it's yes.
So happy days.
It is. It's yeah.
Crossing my fingers. Everything goes well.
It's been a long couple years, and here we are. So. Yeah, it's that time where, everyone's voted. It feels like the election was like a year ago.
I know does see time. I have no reference of time anymore. Someone at work was like, "Oh yeah, I was in last week." I was like, that was last week? God, that seemed like so long ago already. I'm like, there's just so much coming at us every day that it's like, It feels like you said couple episodes ago, it's been the longest 10 years of my life.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
Or 2020. It's like there's so much coming at us that there's a couple of years worth of information coming at us in a few days. So
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. And
I'm ready for it to calm down.
Yes, for sure. It's like
down.
Yeah, for real. And it's one of those things where we've had the election, we've been waiting, now there's a new president. So for a lot of people it feels like okay, we're done. We've done what we need to do. We're done. And for other people, they are curious how you continue to stay involved and stay in tune with everything that's going on without driving yourself crazy. Because I'm going to say for myself that the last few years, trying to follow the dramatic everything, whether it's tweets, news, whatever was happening every single day for the last 4 years, has been a lot to handle. And as much as I want to stay involved, I'm not. I don't want all of that in my life again. So I want to stay involved, and I'm curious about ways to do that. So this week we're kind of talking about ways to stay involved and things that you can consider doing to stay connected moving forward. Yeah,
there's a lot more that happens outside of the presidential election. We all know that that's a big deal, but there's a lot that happens outside of that. There's still a couple of years in between, 4 years in between each one. So there's more to do. So we'll get into that in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I have a little bit of news before we get into that. I'm trying on I did the Warby Parker try-on little box.
Nice.
So
yes.
I have a new pair right here that I'm wearing. It's just the frames with some, not my prescription, so I can't see exactly.
Sure. So Warby Parker, they make eyeglasses that are very affordable and stylish, great looking. They allow you to get a try-on box where you pick out 5 frames. They put them in a box. They send you the frames that you chose. You try them on, figure out what you like, what you don't. You send them back and you choose the frame that you want, and then boom, there you go.
And we were just talking a little bit before the show, and you said that they actually do have extra wide, which I only got wide. I should have definitely gotten extra wide, so I might have to do another try-on box before I actually finally decide. So
yes, so they make a real push for to offer a variety of sizes, and that's something that they've been doing for a while. But in the last year or so, they've made a real push to incorporate more sizing. And so like the pair that I'm wearing are from Warby Parker. They're called the Lowry, and they are, I believe they're extra wide.
Yeah, so they look wider than these ones. I know I have a big head, so.
Yeah, so.
Because I went to a normal, mall eye doctor, got my eye exam, went to look at glasses. I was like, oh, I like these.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, can you get these in a wide? And they're like, oh, well, actually, the only wide ones are like those 4 right there. And I was like,
That's it?
That's it? Like the ugly ones in the corner? No. I felt like I was back in some, shopping for clothes where, you get those 4 things in the corner and that's it.
Right.
So I was kind of disappointed, but I knew that you had a lot of great glasses. You had a really fun pair on last episode. So
yeah,
I definitely am going to be doing a little bit more research and shopping around for some glasses because I've had these other ones for like 4 or 5 years. So I love them, but my prescription's updated. I want to try something different, try something new. So.
Absolutely. And yeah, they have a bunch of different frames that work for all kinds of needs and preferences. And that's the great thing about it. Lots of stuff that I've written about on Chubster, just talking about their different frames for bigger heads. So yeah, I would definitely recommend. Warby Parker is certainly a place to look for good frames.
Yeah. Well, that's where I knew you had a bunch of them. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to check them out.
Nice. So my piece of news for this week. So last week, CES 2021 happened, which is the Consumer Electronics Showcase. And it's when a lot of the electronics companies, they drop their new products. So they're talking about the new things that either they're putting out this year or things that they're working on, or in some cases they're putting out things that they've just kind of ideas that they've had that they haven't that they don't have like a release date for, or concepts for different things. So one of the concepts that I saw was a face mask that had some kind of LED system built into it. I don't know what the reasoning was for it, but it sure did look kind of cool. So there was that.
Like a COVID mask type thing?
Yeah, like a COVID mask that had kind of all I saw was like this circular LED light. I don't know if that's like, do you need to shine at night? I have no idea. But
or maybe it's like some sort of UV germ killing thing or something.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But one thing that I did see that that stood out to me, and I'm really on the fence about this, and you'll understand why. It's called the Cold Snap. And it is an ice cream making gadget that is basically like a Keurig, but for ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of putting out coffee, it has single serve pod dispensed ice cream and other tasty frozen treats. So frozen margaritas, smoothies. I'm on board.
I'm ready.
Ice cream. So it goes on your countertop, but it's huge. This thing's like 50 pounds. The instead of having like the small Keurig cups, there are cans, and these cans, have the ice cream or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're like heavy cream or whatever.
Right.
Or sweetened milk or whatever it is.
Yeah, and so it can make your whatever it is that you want, your ice cream, in between 60 and 90 seconds. So you pop it in, boom, it makes whatever you want, and you're good to go. The pods, they still call them pods apparently, but they're like energy drink cans. So they're aluminum and they're easy to recycle, which is another big thing. Good, I know the Keurig cups for a long time.
Lots of waste with those Keurig cups.
Yes. So so it is another thing that you can put on your counter if you would like that, and
more things to take up counter space.
Yeah, so if you really, really love ice cream and frozen margaritas and you want to use a technology to make them, you'll be able to get it in 2022. So you got some time to wait, and you'll have to pay between $500 and $1,000 to do that.
Yeah, so, it looks like a little soft serve type looking machine. Okay.
Yes, and the pods that come with it will be between $2.50 and $3. So, so there's that. So, it's for me personally, I'm not giving up the counter space, and I'm sure not paying that much for a machine like that when you can get some tasty ice cream.
We have a lot of really
elsewhere.
Good ice cream here in Portland. There's some ice cream sandwiches, those Ruby Jewels that I love. So
yep.
I like that they have a non-dairy ice cream option. That's what I was looking for in frozen yogurt. So
Sure.
But the frozen margarita, frozen cocktail thing, that sounds kind of intriguing.
It feels like something that you would find in like an Airbnb that's by a lake in a remote area.
Yeah, or like has a big pool house or something.
Right. Or
Yeah.
if you live somewhere rural and you didn't want to go out for ice cream or didn't want to get it from the grocery store.
Or get it from the Schwann's man.
Right. Then you could do this, I guess.
Yeah, I do. I like it though.
Yeah. So it's an option. But you're gonna have to wait about a year for that. But there you go. So
looks fun.
Technology. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, speaking of a cold snap, I'm going to have a beer.
Ooh, what do you have?
I have the Ecliptic Brewing Meridian Vanilla Stout.
Hey.
It's a seasonal one that they have. This is a local Portland area brewer.
Okay.
So it is a 5.2 ABV, finished with vanilla beans, our dry Irish style stout. Has a smooth mouthfeel and notes of cacao and roasted something.
Ooh, nice.
Ouch. I love stouts and everything.
Yeah, yeah, and Ecliptic, they've got some good stuff. So across the board, good brewery.
Yeah. So it's a nice dark color.
Yep. Your favorite type of beer?
Yes.
Dark.
Ooh,
that's
do a very good point.
That's it. The classification, dark beer. Yep. What do you think?
Yeah. It's not super vanilla-y. I kind of want a little bit more vanilla, but it's just kind of a hint.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good though.
Good. So one you would drink again.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. This is one I got at that
the new beer,
the beer store that we talked about before.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, on my list this week, I too have a vanilla beer, and mine comes from Leinenkugels.
Ooh, that's good.
Yes, Wisconsin based brewery that makes some good beer. They've got some really good stuff. This one is the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter, and it is a robust porter aged on real vanilla. So I
enjoyed that one. I've had that before.
Yeah, I'm always on the fence about vanilla beers. It's, I'm generally not a big fan, but I do like Leinenkugel, and this one was gifted to me by my father-in-law, so I thought, why not? Happened to have it in his fridge. Said, here, take this. I said, all right. I'll drink it on Heavy Conversation.
He must not like it. He's like, here, take this. Get this out of here.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, it must be one of those. Please take this. Get it out of my face. Yes. It's good. It's drinkable. It's easy. It's easy drinking. Porters, generally are. The vanilla is not overpowering. It's a little. I don't know. It's not quite chocolatey. It's kind of a little roasty, maybe.
Okay.
I don't mind this. It's not something that I would drink on a regular basis, but it feels appropriate for the season.
Yeah.
And
it's called Snowdrift, right?
Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. It's 6%, and another good one from Leinenkugel. Which, if you haven't tried any of their beers,
lots of them.
Yeah, they do. So, and if you're unfamiliar, here you go, Leinenkugels.
Roasted malts for a flavor with hints of cocoa, coffee, and caramel. And it's aged on real vanilla for a smooth, creamy taste that makes it perfect for warming up winter.
Yeah. I definitely get the roastiness, and there's probably a little cocoa in there. Not a ton that's like blowing me away. So, yeah,
good
so there we go.
Cheers to the vanilla beer. That's kind of a weird coincidence.
It is.
We didn't even plan that.
Yeah, we didn't. It just happened. So here we go. Yes. All right. On to everybody's favorite topic, politics.
Woo!
So as opposed to really jumping into just like, deep political stuff, I think this is more like everybody's goal, I hope, is to make things better, for your community, for the people you know and love, for your country, that kind of thing. And a big piece of that is staying involved and staying connected in a lot of ways. And there are different ways to do that. It can be more than just like, taking to Facebook and typing out saying whatever fiery thing you want to say. There are other ways that you can stay involved, that you can do more that's going to make a difference.
Yeah, and I think that you hit on a really big thing is their community. I think we've all been quarantined away. I think we've lost a sense of community. I know we're still kind of in quarantine. Vaccinations are coming out. But I think we all need to strive to be better in our community. And it can start local stuff. Your neighbors, your, whatever, try and connect with them, say hey, hi, and within, 6 feet or whatever. But I think that's a big thing is being involved in your community. And that's a great point, because, and that even isn't necessarily, isn't necessarily a straightforward political thing. Absolutely,
it's getting to know people in your community, being part of it. It makes such a big difference to everything if you're able to do that. And I mean, it's been very hard to do with the pandemic and all of that, but just finding ways to be involved, with the people who live down your street.
Yes.
That's big. It's big. Yeah.
So I think my first thing, besides just being better in our community, is getting informed. And you said it's more than just Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever site that you're on or whatever social media. I think we need to really figure out how or where the news source is coming from. How are they collecting the information? Who is it coming from? Are they a trusted site? There's a lot of the, quote unquote fake news stuff, debunking reporters. There's still a lot of really great reporting happening out there. I think we all just need to step outside of our bubbles a little bit, outside of Facebook, outside of our social media, and do a little bit more research before we're just posting a meme or a tirade on Facebook about something that Karen down the street said or posted on her Facebook, So
right.
Staying informed, getting informed from reputable sites is kind of my big thing.
I'm with you. And I think that there has been a lot of talk over the last few years about journalism not being real, not, being full of lies and misinformation. And there are a lot of reputable journalistic endeavors out there. There are a lot of great websites and newspapers and websites and magazines. And it really is about doing your research and finding things that are going to give you the truth, that are doing real reporting and not falling into, partisan hype, not being pulled one way or the other. You got to figure out, does this site or do these people have some motive behind what they're saying? Are they, leaning too much one way or the other or whatever? Sure.
If it maybe some of the reporting makes you uncomfortable, it should, because not everyone has the same exact values and views and ideas about how things should run. But you still need to see each side and understand everyone's opinions. You don't have to agree, but we have to understand and come together a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it's the country. We have work to do. It's a flawed country. There are things that need to be fixed, that need to be worked on, and you need news that doesn't just tell you what you want to hear. And there's a lot of that out there, and that's growing. And part of that pushes misinformation if you're only getting the information that you want. So being sure that you are looking for your news and info in the right places is important. And I would say don't get your information from social media.
Yeah. I mean, it is a great place to connect and get involved. But you can't take, people's word as the absolute truth. Like, are multiple people or, news organizations reporting the same thing? Then,
right.
it's pretty good that it's the truth. If it's just one or two random sites that are saying this thing, maybe, dig a little bit, don't just take it as, oh, well, so-and-so said this, so it must be true.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we're going to see. It's going to be a topic that's going to be discussed for years to come. Is
Mm-hmm.
how do you manage that? How do you make sure that misinformation isn't being shared
Mm-hmm.
as though it's the truth? And I mean, if you look at the election we just got through, there was a whole bunch of that,
Yeah.
and it's gotten people to believe things that aren't true. So,
Mm-hmm. And do things that are pretty crazy.
yeah,
Outrageous.
some horrible stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to work past that. So getting your information from places that are giving you, real concrete details is important.
Mm-hmm. So after I think you are well informed on issues, whether it is politics or whatever's going on, I think my advice is going to be to go local.
Yes.
It's kind of back to our community. Once you've gotten some information, find something that you're passionate about or that really speaks to you, or maybe you see an injustice happening. Start reaching out to local organizations. There are those national organizations, but they have either local chapters or groups in your city or close to you. Reach out to them and find out ways that you can support them, whether it's whatever sort of things. But I'm going to say to stay local.
Sure.
Get involved in your city council, your school board, your whatever aldermans or city councils or whatever
Right.
kind of organizations are going on.
Right.
It doesn't have to be necessarily just our senators and congressmen and everything. They are important, but there's a lot of stuff that happens at the city level that everyone's really passionate about right now, that the cities have a lot more control over than our federal government.
That's a big thing, and we're almost talking about kind of two things in one here. In that, focus locally, because the people who are running your city, whether it's a mayor, a city council, or people who are dealing with things in the county, or your police departments,
Mm-hmm.
or your metro transit, what all of those things. It's all really important that you follow what's going on with those and that you focus there, because we tend to, and we should, but we tend to focus on the highest up thing. Okay, what's the president doing today? What's happening in Congress? And that's important, but it's also important, arguably more important, to focus locally, because those are the things that affect you every day, and those are the things that ultimately a lot of people start locally and they build up and they move forward and things grow from there. And so focusing on that stuff and on those people, finding the people that are in line with what you believe in, that are that can help push those things forward, is really important. And if you don't see those things, look at how you can get involved. Look at joining organizations. Look at how you can get involved in government in your own community. And there are a lot of different opportunities for that. But just taking the time to look at that. I mean, whether it's something in your neighborhood or it's something citywide
you have
or
maybe a
statewide.
homeowners association or a neighborhood association or a local business association, whatever it is. They like you said, the city council, your local government has more affects your daily life more than, say, the Congress or the president, even though it seems like they are affecting our lives every day. But
It does. But yeah, it's really important. I went to a neighborhood association or neighborhood meeting not too long ago, and there were like 3 or 4 people there, at this community center, and it was they were people who had been going for a long time, and they were very surprised to see anyone new come in. So
you got to get some new blood involved and.
Yeah, and it was a lot of talking about things that needed fixed in the neighborhood, or issues that were specific to our neighborhood, but it's a great place to start. Yeah. So, look at those things. It doesn't always have to be, fate of the country in order for you to be involved.
So my next step is take action. So once you've gotten informed, found how you can get involved locally, it's time to start doing something. So whether it's attending Zoom council meetings and asking your council members or whoever your representatives are, asking them questions, hearing what they have to say, bringing up issues. There's lots of different, what you find the organizations, if they're having a rally, or maybe they're boycotting something, or maybe they're writing letters, or they're phone banking, or they're, there's lots of ways that you can still be involved even during a quarantine. And I know that every organization is finding ways to keep up their work during the quarantine. Maybe you're not meeting in person or going to the offices of people and meeting with them, but you can do Zoom meetings, phone calls, writing letters, whatever the action is. We need to start actually being involved. So
definitely
taking action.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing something and making a difference. That's huge. And it's something that not enough people are doing. So
yeah.
One thing I want to jump back to that we kind of covered is focusing on things that matter to you. And that's, it is kind of a way that you can take action, is to look for those things that are important to you. So it could be, something, a lot of cities deal with, the homelessness and ways to deal with that, or, I don't know, transit. I mean, there are so many different things that you can look at that are issues in your area, that if you get involved with those things and start doing something within those, you're going to feel like you're making progress. You're going to focus on these things that matter to you, and it's going to keep you involved and engaged. You don't have to be focused on 30 different topics or 30 different ideas at once. You can focus on the one thing that's really important to you and go from there. And it doesn't even have to be I think everything to some extent is political. So it could be something like focusing on, I don't know, literacy. There are lots of things that you can do like that, that can really help. And it's about just being active in your community by doing something that's meaningful.
Yeah. And I think, sometimes, at least I feel sometimes a little overwhelmed or helpless. Like, I don't even know what can I do? Like, when people are out there protesting or, doing all this stuff with the president or the Congress, and it's like so big. It's so much. And then I almost feel crippled by that, where it's like, well, I don't feel like I'm going to make a difference or do, so in 2021, I've made a pledge to myself that I'm going to start reaching out more locally, so that it's a smaller bite. I'm taking little bites off of or into these issues that I'm concerned about, so and I feel like I've accomplished something, and then I can maybe take another step and do something else. And
I like that. I think that's great. Something else that you can do is get to know the people who represent you, whether it's at a state or local level. Get to know about those people. Find out what they believe in. Make sure that you're understanding where they stand on different issues and what, how those align with you, and talk to those people, even if they don't directly align with everything that you believe in. Yeah. I think there's real value in, we're divided. We're a very divided country, and very, very divided kind of across the board. And, we live in Portland, Oregon, so we've seen a whole lot of that over the last year.
We're in a complete chaos or something, right?
Right. It's like
all burned down.
We're seeing a lot of things saying it's like a Mad Max hellscape here.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I like their outfits.
Yeah, those outfits are amazing. So it's about trying to connect. Obviously that's not always easy or always possible, but I do think that.
Yeah, but I think the important thing is knowing who they are.
Yeah,
who are the people that are representing you? If you don't even know their names, how can you have anything to say about what's going on?
Making yourself heard.
Yeah,
right.
If you don't even know who's representing you and who is making those decisions, and you're not, reaching out or saying something, or
totally.
I mean, even follow them on Facebook if that's what you need to do to stay informed on what because they are posting about what they're doing. So
Right.
that's
Always.
maybe some way to stay informed of what is going on. So
It is, yeah, and if you know what they are about, then you can share your thoughts, your values, the things that you believe in, and that's important. It's important to be able to do that, and you start a dialogue and kind of go from there. And of course, if they aren't the people that you want in office, then you can work with that. You can work to get someone else in there. You can follow those things along, and you can talk about the things that you don't like and push for the things that you do. Yeah. So that's
a civilized adult manner,
right.
way to have have some discussions and have some, I think another thing is, once you've been involved for a while, you can maybe start getting other people involved, reaching out to your friends and family, your neighbors, your community, and try to get them involved. Share things that you're involved with and things that you're doing to get them engaged with their community, with what's going on in the world. I think that's a good way to get more voices, get everyone's voices heard outside of just their vote. So getting involved and getting other people. So becoming even a neighborhood leader, passing out flyers in your neighborhood to start a neighborhood association or whatever it is. Get other people involved in what the things that you're passionate about, that you're concerned about.
That's so true. I mean, if you look at, as an example, look at Georgia. Stacey Abrams spent much time
She's amazing.
Getting people registered to vote, and it made actual change. It made a difference in a way that no one would have expected a few years ago. No. So you getting more people involved and behind the things that you believe can make a huge difference. I love that.
Yeah, I think she deserves a statue in multiple places, I believe.
Yes.
Maybe one of my last little things. I've been using an app called 5 Calls for quite a while now, and it makes it really easy to call your representatives about different issues. So you sign in, it knows where you are, it'll tell you who your representatives are. It gives you their contact information, so you can call their offices. You leave a message, and then you just pick different topics that you're concerned about. There's anything from government oversight, gun reform, healthcare, national security, voter rights, anything that's going on, you can find stuff. And it literally will give you the talking points or the little facts, the little blurbs about different issues that are going on, and you can call, and it says call your representative.
Nice. And
you just click on it. You can click on Jeff Merkley.
Right.
And then
whoever
your local, your representative. And it gives you even a little script.
Nice.
So that you can be like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm in the Portland whatever district.
Right.
This issue, and this is how I feel, and this is what I would like you to do.
That's great. Yeah.
And it's that easy.
I love it.
That's an easy way for us to... Sorry, I got really close to the mic there. It was really important. It's an easy way to start reaching out to your representatives. You can figure out who they are, and it even will say, maybe they've already taken a stance on whatever issue it is. It'll tell you. So that this 5 Calls has been very helpful for me the last year and a half or so that I've been using it. And it kind of keeps track of who you've called and tells you about your impacts that you've made. And sometimes I even get letters from my representatives, about the issue saying, thank you for your, reaching out. This is, I know it's an aide that's sending me the letter. That's fine.
Sure.
And it says what the representative is, what their stance is, what they're doing, or even they want to talk to you and want more information from you. So that was a big surprise to me that, they actually wrote letters and reached out, and I guess I've called enough times that they have all my information now, so they can reach out. And it was really good.
The last thing that I have on my list is we have been tied to the news and social media and everything for so long now that it is easy to get burnt out, and there is no reason that you can't pull back a little. You can still pull back and stay informed and stay connected. Sometimes you need to just kind of, for lack of a better term, detox, you know, from all of this stuff, because it's stressful. It gets difficult to watch all the time, and especially the last couple of weeks, it's been some rough, horrible stuff.
I'm like, I can't watch I can't see any more, like all the when they were storming the Capitol and all that stuff. I was like, wait, what is going on? And then after a while, I was like, I gotta pull back on this. I can't watch any more of this. It's like getting me upset. I'm getting angry. And I'm getting, like, it's this weird, like, angry, upset, scared, all kinds of things going on. And I was like, okay.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even want to know. Don't tell me right now. I just want to watch Little Mermaid. I'm fine.
Exactly. And
I just want to go to work and just go to work. And I don't want to even talk about it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still stay engaged and connected to everything, but you don't have to have every notification coming up on your phone. You don't have to doom scroll. You don't have to do those things. This all kind of ties into things we've talked about before, that you don't have to do all of that stuff to still be part of this. I think it's important that we don't just say, okay, it's all over, everything is fine.
Yeah, we can't. It's not over. There's still lots to. I mean, he made a mess of everything over the last 4 years, so there's a lot to put back together.
Yeah, and even above and beyond that, there's still so much that needs to change and so much that needs to be done, and we've just got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah,
So there we go. Hopefully that gives everybody some ideas for how you can stay involved without losing your mind.
Yeah,
basically.
do as much or as little as you can do. You know, it's not all up to you, but it is up to all of us.
Yes.
That's my slogan for today's episode.
I like that. I like that. Jody for president.
2030.
There we go. Perfect.
Or whatever.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you.
All right.
And I appreciate you being part of our conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. All right. Until next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast.